Welcome back to the Blues Feed, everybody. It is the same obsession with a new episode. We are previewing the Bayern Munich game. We are back in the big time. We're in the Champions League. I can't wait to hear that music, and it actually means that Chelsea are in it, and I'm not watching somebody else. It feels like ages. I know it's only been, 2 years, but it feels like 15, to be honest with you. Back with Luke, our co-host as usual. How we doing, mate?
Good, mate, and it has been a very, very long 2 years, and I can't fucking wait. Honestly,
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And toughest game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, between that and Barca, probably for sure. Good start. I mean, we were always going to play someone good to start with because they like doing it for the first game of. If you look at it, the first and the last game are the two best fixtures on the thing to create hype. So it was always expected. Um, I feel quite good about this one. So we'll obviously go into it. Before we jump into it, just remind everybody the 1K subscriber giveaway. We're getting closer and closer. Um, Probably just about halfway now. So the more you guys like, comment, and subscribe, the quicker we get there because more people see it. So do that. We can get you a choice of your shirt. Maybe, who knows? Maybe you get the Champions League badge on the side if that's what you want. Who knows? Right, to get into it, mate, we've got the Bayern Munich game. Um, we had a bit of rotation at the weekend, a few injured players getting a few minutes. Palmer's back. Is he going to start? First and foremost, what's your thoughts overall just on the game? How do you think it's going to go? Are you confident? Are you scared? What's your feelings?
I think the two teams are very similar in that defence is their weakness. So I think it could be a high scorer. It's either going to be one of those. It's going to be a high scorer or it'll be a drab 0-0. So I'm
And you've gone for
quiet.
neither in your score prediction, which we'll get in a minute.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I've contradicted myself big
It's
time
going to
there,
be
haven't I?
0-0 or a high scorer, and Luke
It's
goes for
only
something
it's
that's
only when I
not
think
those.
about it that obviously Bayern's attack is really good. They've got the likes of Diaz, Kane, etc., Elise,
Not
but
Jackson, you said.
yeah, exactly. I only mentioned the good players. Their defense is very weak, and I think we really need to target that. By moving the ball quick and getting in behind them quickly, and I think if we do that, then there's room for success in this game. Obviously, we're going to get onto it shortly, but I think the lineup that I think Maresca will pick um, will give us the best chance of doing that as well. So overall, I'm optimistic, but I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about an hour before kickoff when we know the lineup, because that is
Yeah, fair.
really dependent on my mood for this game. If it's the way I think it's going to go, then I'm going to be quite optimistic and confident going into the game, and I hope that's the case. And if not, we could be in for a long night. So let's hope that it goes the way that I predict it will.
Fair enough. I mean, for me, I think I agree with what you're saying. I think Elise is their danger man. I think we can obviously if Kane gets an opportunity, he'll put it away, or he'll definitely make Sanchez work really hard with any shots or chances he gets. But I think Elise is the danger man that you need to shut down, and I quite like that matchup for Cucurella. I mean, he seems to pocket most right wingers when we play them, so I'm quite happy about that. I think physically, both like from a speed perspective and also like a strength perspective, I'm not too worried about Harry Kane. Um, I don't know if it's just every time we play them, but Luis Diaz never seems to particularly scare me when we played Liverpool. I don't remember a time where he did anything against us. So I quite like that side, especially if James starts. So I think we have the skills and the capabilities to nullify them in attack. But I think where we can win the game is the midfield. Don't get me wrong. I think Kimmich is fantastic, but not sure he has the physicality or the speed to deal with our midfield. I don't know a lot about Pavlovovic. Don't know much about him, which probably means he ain't very good. So I feel like we can win the midfield battle. And yeah, like you say, their defense. I mean, it's pretty average. So I think Pedro, who I believe will play up front, will be able to give them a lot. So I'm actually feeling quite optimistic and quite positive about it, especially as the fact that they will come and try and have a go. They won't sit back. It's not if we were playing Inter Milan or something, I'd probably say that Inter Milan have a worse side and have less to like trouble us with, but it'd be a harder matchup because of the way they play. So I'm feeling quite confident. I like games where we play against people who come at us. So we'll see. I'll go throw up on the screen now. This is the lineup from the last game. They started up front. They started up front with Kane. They had Gnabry in the 10, but he only played 45 minutes, and then the guy who should not be named came on instead. Elise on the right, Diaz on the left, Pavlovic and Kimmich in the middle, with Lima at right back, Upamecano, Tar, and Stanisic at left back, with Neuer in goal. So, I mean, as I was saying a second ago, I mean, you look at that defence. I mean, Upamecano has a mistake in him all the time. I mean, Lima's not exactly a world class right back. Stanisic is average left back. That midfield looks a bit weak, but the attack is very good. So yeah, I mean, is there anything that stands out for you in that lineup from the Hamburg
Yeah,
game?
I definitely think their fullbacks are square pegs in round holes. So
For
Lima by
sure.
trade is a centre midfielder. So him being at right back, I like Pedro Neto up against him. I think he'll run
Mhm.
him ragged. Stanisic by trade is a centre back or a right back. He can play on the left, but it's a bit like us putting Josh on the left. It's not really his forte. So I think definitely targeting the fullbacks, and I like the fact that their two most influential players, obviously Kane and Elise. If Elise's on the right, then Kukureya's there. If they move him into the 10, then Caicedo's there. The same with Kane. If he wants to drop deep, Caicedo's there. So our two best, arguably two of our best players, if not aside from Palmer, the two best players with Kukureya and Caicedo, they get the matchups that they're probably going to relish. They've not.
Mhm.
I mean, to knowledge, I don't know if Kukureya has played in the Champions League before, mate. I don't think
Don't
it's our
think
favourite in it,
so.
and
Um,
Caicedo definitely hasn't. So them two especially are going to be
did he play in
relishing.
it? Did he play in it in the first season when he joined under Potter? Maybe.
Ah, maybe actually, yeah, Kukureya maybe, yeah. Um, but they're going to be relishing it, and it's a game that we can go and win, and they're going to know that they can go and win this game. I think of the pot one teams, I think Bayern was probably the one that I was hoping for. I think they were the weaker of the teams, and that might come back and bite me on the arse. But generally, I think if we're going to go toe to toe with a team and beat them in their own backyard, why not do it to Bayern again?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you a lot, to be honest. I mean, looking back at how they've started the season, I mean, they're three for three in the Bundesliga. They won the first round of the cup and they won the Super Cup, like Community Shield version of the Bundesliga. So they are 5 wins from 5. But you look, Stuttgart, they only beat 2-1. I can't even pronounce this team, but Wehen Wisabanen. Nope, butchered that completely, but never heard of them. They scored 2 and they only beat 3. They only beat them 3-2. They played Augsburg. They only won 3-2, and then they trounced a very bad Hamburg side. So they can be got at. They definitely can be got at. They're not going to get the space that they get in the Bundesliga. They're not going to get the transitions that they get in the Bundesliga. They're not going to be used to the physicality and the pressing that we should bring to the game. I think if we play anything close to how we played in the Club World Cup, then I think we have a very good chance. I think they'll give us chances. It will come down to the clinicalness. And to be honest, Neto is showing to be a clinical, or more clinical than he was. Pedro has can't stop scoring. Palmer is Palmer. So yeah, I think we have a good chance. And the one thing I also would say, if you look at their bench options, kind of most weeks they don't have a plethora of talent off the bench because they've got some injuries. Like there's no Musiala, for example. So um, I think even if it is a tight game or what have you, we're going to have a bit more off the bench than they are. I mean, literally looking at their bench now, the only 3 very decent or decent-ish players are Jackson, who we know even if he plays well, won't score. Kim Min Jae is a centre back, and Leon Goretzka. But outside of that, they don't have a huge amount to come off the bench. Whereas we could go with our predicted lineup, which we'll get into in a second. Actually, I'll put it on the screen now. So we're starting with the Club World Cup starting 11 basically. But you'll have Esteval, Garnacho, you'll have Santos, you'll have like players that can come on. You'll have players that can come on and change the game. So whereas they will not. So I think even if it goes later on, they're not going to be able to affect the game as much. So to go into the full lineup, I think we're both in agreement. That's why there's only one on the screen. But Sanchez in goal, Cucurella, Tosin, Trev, and Gusto in the back line. But obviously Gusto playing high and wide. Caicedo and James in the middle. Enzo in the 10, Palmer next to him, drifting in from the right hand side, Pedro Neto on the left, and João Pedro up front. I think we both agreed immediately and said the same thing. So I think this is what we should go for. Let's see if Maresca does something different.
Yeah, 100%. And this is, aside from Tosin in from Levi, this is the lineup that beat PSG 3-0. So they know how the system works, they know how to play it, and they know how to get the best out of each other. So hopefully this is what we see. I'd argue that this is probably our strongest lineup at the moment. Obviously,
strongest in the biggest games,
yeah,
where
I'd
you
like
need a bit
Esteval
more
to be in
solidity.
there. I'd like to find a way to get Esteval in there, but at the minute, I feel like we need that solidity in midfield of Enzo, James, and Caicedo. We want Gusto high and wide, and Cucurella to be able to tuck in, and it gives Tosin his best role, Trev his best role, and everyone's playing in their best position, really.
And you can change it quite easily. If you start with that team, like I mentioned, you're going to have Garnacho off the bench. You're going to have Gittins, who played very well against Bayern Munich twice last season when he played them. You're going to have Andre Santos to come into the midfield if you need. You're going to have the ability to drop one of James or Gusto and bring in an Esteval to add another attacker onto the bench as long as he's fit. So, or over his illness, should we say? So. Yeah, I think we're going to have overall too much for us, for them, and it will come down to if we take our chances, and if Sanchez doesn't have a brain fart, because I do believe this will be Sanchez's first Champions League game. So
yeah, 100%.
let's see if he gets in his own head or if he goes Club World Cup Sanchez and goes down that route. So I believe. I think Palmer will be fit enough to start. I think you probably would have seen Palmer start against Brentford if there was no Bayern Munich, and then he would have come off at the 60th minute. So, yeah, I think he'll be fit enough to start, and we'll have to see how that kind of plays out to potentially if he can start for Man United as well. But I think they've been very careful with him over the international break and into this fixture. So hopefully he'll be able to, play. I mean, hopefully we go 2-0 up and you don't need Palmer on the pitch anymore. You can drop kind of Andre Santos into the 10 or something and bring on Esteval or something like that. But we'll see what happens. To go on to the predictions, we've gone slightly different. I mean, as the viewers can now see why I said to Luke that he is chatting shit, because he said it will either be 0-0 or a high-scoring game, and then he's gone for 1-1. So he's gone for 1-0 with Neto as the goal scorer and Caicedo man of the match. I've gone for 2-1 Chelsea with Palmer and Pedro scoring. I just think Palmer, with big game player, loves to go in a big game. João Pedro loves to go in a big game. And a man at the match for Caicedo. I think he'll just boss that midfield. I will say, I think João, one slight prediction for the game, I think at 0-0, at a drawing part of the game, João Pedro will score the go-ahead goal because he loves a goal to kind of bail teams out or be the one to go for the go-ahead goal. So I think Pedro will score the go-ahead goal.
Very nice. Yeah, I went for 1-1. I don't really know why, to be honest, because I've contradicted myself earlier in the episode. So the more I think about it, I think Bayern's defence is a real weak point for them, as can be ours as well. But I'll stick with my guns of my initial head over my heart of 1-1. I think Neto will be able to get the best of Conrad Lima on the right back role. So hopefully my prediction will come true of him scoring, but ultimately I don't really care who scores as long as we win the game or at least get a draw.
We'll have a Bob Sanchez winner for all I care.
Yeah, exactly. And Caicedo,
if Bob Sanchez scores the winner, I will get a Robert Sanchez shirt. And I'll wear it for the rest of the season. On every podcast, I'll wear a Rob Sanchez shirt
backwards so that Sanchez 1 is at the front. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine.
Yeah,
No
sweet.
problem.
Okay, well, let's hope that happens.
That's probably the safest bet I've ever made in my life.
Oh, imagine. Neuer his hamstring pops as a goal kick bounces over his head into the goal. Sanchez 1-0.
Oh, I was thinking last minute corner, Rob Sanchez bicycle kick.
Take it.
To be fair, that's something that Sanchez would try.
Oh, 100%. He loves a camera.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't think we'd actually push the goalkeeper up at a drawing situation to win in the league.
No,
stage,
I don't think we're bold enough to do that. Yeah, Sanchez
is
is bold enough to do that, but.
But yeah, no, that kind of concludes the predictions, the preview of the game. Hopefully, we will get the first win. I think we need to aim for. I think it was about 16 points last year to automatically go up.
Yeah.
So this is a game where we won't break or make or break it to go up automatically, but it's a way that you can kind of gain points against your kind of expected points for the league phase. So if we can go there and get a win, we'll be laughing. It'll be 16 points that we need overall based on last season. So yeah, I think this is a chance to get ahead. I think it'll actually be a really key thing if we can go through automatic and take 2 games out of our schedule instead of having to play the playoff rounds, if we want to achieve what we want to achieve. So let's go and get that win. Make sure you drop a comment down below. Let us know what your prediction is, what you think is a key matchup in the game, or your man of the match. Or if you want to put a bet in the chat, like Bob Sanchez scoring the winner, let us know, and maybe you'll be on the video for next time. Appreciate you all listening. Come on the Chelsea, and we'll catch you all soon.